Greetings, everyone. Namaskar. First of all, many thanks to Professor Vinita Gupta. Our friendship goes long back, and thanks for inviting me at this time, which I would say is a very appropriate time for a health communicator to come and talk to you, particularly in these distress times of COVID, which everybody is going through. Firstly, I would request Professor Vinita Gupta to also take rest and take care of her health and get well soon, and don't exert much, ma'am, because
Thank you. Thanks.
also very important, and we are really concerned about it. My greetings to Dr. Ravi Gupta, Director, MIMS, and our
Thank you.
invited jury, Mr. Deepak. Good. Thanks for your insightful talk today on social media and communications. And first of all, let me congratulate these young guys from Brandwagon Club, MAMES, because they have done a wonderful job. Because today's time, in the last 2 weeks, what we are going through, I would say last 3 weeks, what we are going through in this COVID 2.0, when this second wave of COVID has hit us so badly, I still see that enthusiasm and that spirit of doing something at this level, which is really commendable. Let me congratulate the team and the institute, the management, because it is actually depressing times. I have never felt so depressed any point in my life, dealing with healthcare issues for about 25 years now. As we feel today, we feel a little helpless. I'm sorry to say that we feel a little helpless, and the panic and the dismay and the dismay is actually become a part of the life, because not only because one old family is suffering, because almost all near and dear ones we see, some of the families have actually gone into bad, really critical conditions. I have been involved since beginning in my career. I have touched base with about 14,000 patients, doctor second opinion, right kind of consultation, right kind of line of treatment. Uh, every week I handle 4, 5, 6, 7 patients and their families and the caregivers, where the role of communication, I have realized, is one of the most important role in handling healthcare overall. And particularly in this pandemic situation, I'm telling you with my experience, and I think that will be more useful for you when I talk about a bit of my experience, is that in this pandemic situation, I have in last 3 weeks handled about 100 patients, from friends, family, from media, from all over. And one of the key things which has worked is the right kind of information and the communication and the solace and the comfort which these patients are getting talking to the experts. I'm a public health expert. I'm not a medical doctor, but I have got enough good knowledge to take care of the first level of information dissemination, which me and my team does on a regular basis. And I feel that's a big relief. I have got almost 90% of the cases who have recovered and called back, and that information, that what to do, what not to do, when to panic, when not to panic. These sort of key information are something which at least solves 80-90% of our problems, and people are able to come out of panic, because more than the pandemic, panic is killing people. So this is one very important thing. That's why I don't need to define the role of communication, particularly in healthcare, but it is one of the most important and equal role which a doctor or a nurse or a frontline worker is delivering. I would not, I like to equal them. They are of course doing very phenomenal job, because they are also risking themselves, their lives, their families' health, because of being there on the front line. And it's like as one of the newspapers said, it is not a battle, it is a war-like situation. So they are in the war-like situation today and fighting there. But the role of the communicators and the media professionals is also very important, particularly in healthcare. So now when healthcare has become and this COVID 2.0 has shown, healthcare has become an integral part of everyone's life. Now I won't come across anybody, any individual on this earth who says that I am not interested in knowing about healthcare issues. I have got doctors, I have got specialists, I have got other hospitals who take care of this. No, it has become every individual's, and particularly in India, like situation, every citizen's responsibility to have basic knowledge on healthcare. Here, the importance of healthcare as a subject becomes very, very important. Healthcare as a communication becomes very, very important. Healthcare as media becomes equally and more important. Uh, I would like to also so very briefly, I will like to throw some light on what we have been. I came to know yours is a program wherein you are also presenting a lot of campaigns. So and that will be just today, and a lot of winners will come out. And I am very sure the type of enthusiasm and spirit what you have shown, I'm very sure these will be very participatory and very interactive and very interesting and creative campaigns you guys, young guys, will come with. Here I would say that campaign in healthcare communication and healthcare media, it becomes very, very important aspect. See, I started this campaign project in healthcare through my healthcare communications company in year 2000. And I realized that this is one of the very, very strong tool to send across a well orchestrated specific messages to the targeted audience. That's why so what is difference between health awareness, a healthcare story or healthcare media write-up, and a campaign? Campaign does the brilliant job of putting minds together, of bringing all the important aspects of any communication related to any healthcare subject. It can be related to a heart disease problem, it can be related to neuro-stroke problem, it can be related to current COVID issues, and there the campaign experts play one of the most important role, because what they do is they bring together all the important aspect of communication and messaging, put it into a box. It is like a box, and then there's a work of identifying the target audience and throwing that very specific messages customized for those specific target audience. Like, for example, I'll define you in healthcare. In healthcare, we work with multi-stakeholders. So in multi-stakeholders, we have got at one level, we have got the medical community, the doctors who are the prescribers of medicines, who are the caregivers, who are the people who deliver healthcare through these are the doctors, these are the hospitals, these are other healthcare delivery support systems like diagnostic, radiological diagnostics, pathological diagnostics. Today, you would be hearing so much about RT-PCR test and all this test for COVID. This is because of the pathological diagnostics. Now, new thing has come, HRCT. So that is high resolution CT is in the radiological diagnostics. Then there is a lot of online consultation which is available from the doctors. These are the doctors who are giving time online. Now healthcare delivery, particularly the consultation part, has moved from just doing physical consultation to online consultation, telephonic consultation, teleconsultation, what you call. So this is one of the most important pillar of healthcare stakeholders. These are the doctors, hospitals, and healthcare providers, including diagnostics. Then comes the other level of pillars in healthcare. The second most important is, of course, the media. Media also comprises of general media as well as the health specialist media. What we did in year 2005, I remember, we started a program called a capacity building program, identifying the health writers in every media. We went to all the media houses across the key ones, and we said that you've got people who write on crime, who write on entertainment, film industry, who write on politics, and one day you ask them to go and write a health story, cover a hospital press conference or a doctor press conference, or write a health story. So there's a lot of inaccuracy. The seriousness in the stories are not coming because they are not trained people. So we took the responsibility of training these media to become health writers. Under our HEAL Foundation, it's called HEAL, stands for Health Essayists and Authors League program. We have trained about few thousands of media across the country through our more than 150 media training workshops for health media, and 7 national health writers conventions we have done, which probably is very unique, not done anywhere except Kaiser Foundation in US. not done at this level anywhere in the world. And so this has helped in improving the health information levels which are being disseminated through the media. You find more experienced and more trained media personnel who are very specifically defined as health media, health writers, health journalists, health editors, even health bloggers have come in a big way now. So all these combined have helped in improving the healthcare information level, but still there's a problem. I'll come to that, and all you as students should know about it. What's the problem still in this scenario? Second part is that because of the social media and all these handles, the social media, digital media becoming so prominent in the last 1 decade. It's a digital era. Post-COVID, it is definitely a much stronger digital era. So everybody can become a publisher now. So everybody is media. You can publish any information on your Facebook, on Instagram, and it can have an impact on the people. So that's why knowing basic healthcare information and what to publish right and wrong. No, there's another tendency of forwarding information, forwarding anything what you get on WhatsApp without verification, you forward it anywhere. And many times, lot of wrong information, wrong post, misguiding information, they become viral, and there the responsibility of every individual should be accountable. That's why I said that today, when it comes to healthcare, every citizen of the country should know basics of healthcare, understand, and you as media and comm professionals should definitely get into, I would request the management and all the institutes across to introduce basic healthcare, preventive healthcare, and public healthcare as a basic one level subject in most of the institutes in with respect to media and comm institutes. Because this COVID it's not only about this COVID 2.0. Maybe you don't know about the way things are moving. There will be COVID 3.0, there will be COVID 4.0. It's not going to die that soon. Then there can be any other wave of non-communicable communicable diseases. The non-communicable disease burden is already so high on our society, whether it is heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, cancer. Cancer is growing at phenomenal pace, particularly in our country. So healthcare is it touches everybody's life. So healthcare information, healthcare knowledge should also be an integral part of everybody's lives, particularly the stakeholders who are into media and communications, because their role is very, very responsible. So when I touch this point, we are also writing a book on pandemic of information, that is infodemic, along with my HEAL president, Mr. R. Shankar, who's the ex-editor of New Indian Express. Together are putting up a book together on infodemic. That's also very important for all the communication professionals and the media professionals to know about. Is there is a pandemic of information where in a lot of information which is not factually correct and not verified is also floating around, either by so-called experts or either through WhatsApp forwards, through Facebook shares, or so these are a lot of, and one of their data from one of the global agencies says that it can be up to the level of almost 60 to 70% of information which is not correct and which is fake. You may also call it fake news. But in healthcare, so if there's a fake news about any film industry, a hero or a heroine having an affair and it's a fake news, or any political gimmick which happens as a fake news, those are still, I would not say they are okay. Media professionals should be always factually correct, but those can still be tolerated and forgotten. But any wrong information, fake news on healthcare issues is something which becomes serious for the society, because it can impact the society in a very wrong way. Everybody in the society follows healthcare information seriously, and it impacts each and everybody's life. So there, you should also be aware of the pandemic of information, infodemic. For creating any information, it should always be up to the experts who are qualified, and there is a process mechanism of taking references of the information and taking various quotes or verifying those information from the experts and then only putting out. So this is one thing, as individuals, as citizens of this country, as well as the media and the communication experts, you should be aware of that it is always good, and there's also a lack of information. So there's always good to propagate as much of health information, particularly in current scenario, but it's also very, very important to propagate the right information, the correct information, verified information, and the information which has got some reference of scientific text or any other experience related references, which should be published and propagated. And it should that responsibility role is also very important when it comes to healthcare communications. So I would these are the few things we can keep talking about. I would definitely like to get involved and with the institute and have some specific sessions, at least help you design some specific sessions in this regard if you find worth it. But here obviously this is not the right platform. I would definitely like, we have shared a video of our campaign, like what we started 365 days back, is the COVID Fighters Public Health Safety Movement. As health communicators sitting at home, what best we can do, and what best each of you communication and media professionals can do sitting at home, is spreading the right information. That's what we have done in last 365 days of when the first lockdown was declared in April. And that's what we have tried to do, is package that in the form of various campaigns which are the important issues of that time. Like, for example, we brought in about 200 experts and created a platform from all over the world wherein they come and talk to the people, to the audience, they clarify their doubts, myths. That is one part of it. Then we realized that mask is so important and people are not adhering to mask wearing behavior. So we started a campaign called Mask is Must, which became very popular, and a lot of people are contributing to it. Mask is everything, is everybody individually should teach the other individual about the importance of mask, no doubt about it, because the one single most important intervention to prevent and save yourself from COVID is mask. So we did that. Then the vaccine, COVID vaccines came, and government was also facing a lot of challenge with respect to vaccine hesitancy. And then we brought in India for Vaccination campaign, wherein we said that all doctors who are vaccinated, let first you come forward and tell the importance and the safety of vaccines. So more than 100 doctors came on our platform, and we started India for Vaccination campaign. So that is why I'm telling you the importance of campaign, particularly in healthcare and everywhere, is very, very important in terms of selecting the right messages, authentic messages, credible messages, and communicating it to the right audience in the right language, what they understand. Like, to give you an example of doctors. So doctors understand a more medical language. So there's a medical communication which is given to the doctors supported by the pharma companies, medtech companies, medical devices companies, or given by the scientific journals of the world. So that's a medical communication. For the media is the second level of communication. We simplify that language for the media and give it to the health media so that they can write in a more simpler language with all the facts and references. Whatever they write, whether it is on the digital media, social media, or the print media, or the electronic media, or radio is another important thing which has come up, radio media. So that is the third, is the public in general. That is most of the people who don't know, who are not that literate on health issues, which 90% of our population is not, compared to only 10, 15, 20% in US. The illiteracy of healthcare in India is very, very high. Overall, if you take an average, particularly in the rural and the suburban areas. So there, the communication to public also becomes very important, and that should go in a very, very, very customized, simple lay language which they understand and adopt. So, so this is what we have tried to do in our campaign, COVID Fighters Public Health Safety Movement. I request the host to play a small video that will give you, definitely is very related to what the program, what you're doing, the Bandwagon Club is doing today, and it will definitely benefit you. With these words, thank you so much again. Thank you to management, and really commendable spirit what you guys are showing. Have patience, have faith. Shraddha Saburi is the answer for today. Everybody should have, and be safe. I'm again telling you, I'm again repeating, I don't want to give you a healthcare medical lecture, but again repeating, follow simple things. Don't take COVID for granted. Today, why we are in this situation, you can blame the political parties, you can blame the Kumbh, you can blame any such mishappenings or misorganized things which are, but the main reason and the people that and who are the real people to blame are the us, we people, because we lowered our guard overall and we took COVID lightly. That's why today we are in this situation. So everybody, again, all students, please propagate in your community, in your amongst your parents, among your family, that mask is must. Not a single step out of your home without mask. If you have got any patient, any person in family, please keep that person in isolation, 100% isolation. No emotional touch in terms of going and meeting that person in his room, or because this second strain of COVID is spreading so fast. If it enters a room, it infects everybody in the family. It's so dangerous, the second wave. So please be safe and please remain healthy. With this, I would request the video to play. And thank you so much again. Thank you, everyone.